Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to the Realm of Inspiration mini series, Embracing the Warrior Principles. This is episode 3. Universal Unity Warrior Channeling, embracing unity. So one of the warrior principles is unity and universal unity and finding that spiritual community. It is related to truly harmonious connections, but a little bit different. So last week we did harmony and kind of talking about the frequency of harmony and harmonious connections. And if you checked out the key to truly harmonious connections, part 1 and part 2, the courses I did this past spring, you kind of have a little bit more of an understanding about embracing that harmonious connection relationship, and we're expanding on that when it comes to unity and that oneness. There is individuality within the oneness. So I'm kind of feeling a lot of different energy moving. Let's see. So obviously, Universal Unity Warrior is going to come through, but I'm trying to feel if there's anything that's wanting to come up right now before I get started. Obviously, the request for crystalline energy when it comes to Universal Unity, and I'm feeling a lot of cleansing energy, a lot of energy bridging together. Maybe I'm feeling this. It's the Tree of Life with the soul light and the healer symbol that I'm wearing. And they work, the Elfian Warriors work with clearing the ley lines and clearing imprints and cleansing. So I feel like that's somehow related to this unity thing. So let's just get started with having them come through, because I can ramble for days. So it's part of being a communicator. Thank goodness I'm a channeler, otherwise the videos would be 10 times longer to get to the same point, I'm sure. Let's see. I'm feeling a divine feminine Elfian warrior of universal unity wanting to come through. When I have safely stepped back, you may step forward. Only messages for our highest good from a place of divine light and love are going to come through today from the Elfian Warrior domain, a divine feminine Elfian Warrior of universal unity. Hello, beautiful beings. I have been giving this excitement energy, so excited to come through and talk to you all about unity and universal unity and the warrior principles. And I know I will slow it down because there are a lot of international watchers too, and English is not your first language. Trust me, it is not ours either. We are trying to reinterpret the way that we communicate in the spirit realm and the physical realm through human words. Sometimes we're not always so smart about the right words to use, but we are figuring it out as we go. So, universal unity. I am a divine feminine warrior of universal unity. You're probably wondering, okay, you warrior of truly harmonious connections and kindness and unity. What does that have to do with warrior? And I believe my warrior friends talked about the fact that there is a difference between a warrior and a fighter. And a warrior embraces their true authenticity, steps into their highest self, and keeps, in a way, fighting, but fighting wouldn't necessarily be the right word. It keeps evolving and ascending and growing as they become their highest self, and keeps choosing positivity. A warrior chooses positivity. A warrior chooses truth and chooses their higher authenticity. So unity, you've talked about kindness and you've talked about harmony, and now it's unity, and then it'll be tranquility next. Unity in and of itself is a sister energy to harmony, but it's a little bit different. Because with harmony, you are harmonizing with people who are in alignment with you, who resonate with you. You are learning to harmonize with the people in your lives. It is having truly harmonious relationships that are in harmony and in alignment with who you are. Unity is having that relationship with people who are even the complete opposite of you. It is having unity with all the differences, having unity even if Even if there are people who are not in alignment with your authenticity, still feeling that unity, that oneness as you are all humans, that unity energy of accepting the differences, accepting that you don't get along with this person. This person is not in alignment with you, but they are a human being and they have every right to be on this planet. They have every right to do what they want to do because they have free will, and accepting that and still choosing to send them love and see the goodness within them. And you don't have to have a relationship with them. You can see that you guys are not in alignment. So if you try to have a relationship, it's going to cause friction. You guys are better at a distance, seeing and offering that supporting, loving energy, but knowing that if you were to come together in an intimate relationship, things would not be compatible. It is that unity. Intimate relationship as in a friend, as in family or chosen family, or a romantic partner, whatever it may be. Knowing that that connection might not necessarily be in alignment with your authenticity, but still choosing to find the unity and find the love and connection, as you all do share something in common. Even if you don't share a lot of things in common, all of you humans share one thing in common, and is that you are human, you are incarnating in the physical, and you are figuring out this lifetime. It is your first time in this lifetime. Some humans do not remember their past lifetimes, do not remember that they have done this before, and it really feels like the first time. Having that compassion, that universal unity factor is that compassion for all, is that love for all, that understanding and acceptance of all, even though they may be different from you. So embracing that unity is embracing the fact that there is a need for peace. And you're going to learn that all of these principles are related to each other. It all weaves into not a circle. It's almost like a W. Warrior. Is the way that it is all connected, and there is the meeting points, and it shapes like a W almost, the way that all of these things are connected. That unity is coming from, choosing to embrace that unity. You start to bring forth that tranquility and bring forth that peace into your life and your connections with others. When you start to embrace that unity, you're embracing that everybody is different, and you cannot make people fit what you want. You just have to accept everyone as they are. You cannot control people. You cannot force people to be who they aren't. Everyone's choices, when it's coming from their soul, when it's coming from their authenticity, when it's their choice, it's their free will. You cannot choose things for them. And embracing that unity is accepting the differences. Unity is accepting the differences and choosing that oneness with the differences in mind. Differences don't always mean harmony. And harmony and unity do not need to be the same thing. But you are all humans. And you are all working to do one unique, common thing that is unique to humans. One thing that is unique to humans. And that is living in the physical. Having the consciousness that is not superior to animals, but is different. Is able to communicate in a different way. Not superior to animals, because the unity factor is also having that unity with the animal kingdom as well. But you have this consciousness that is different, that is individual. Animals, they don't need to learn that unity because they come from group soul energy. So they have that unity within their individual species, and they flow with the circle of life and that rhyme, rhythm, and reason. They don't need to worry about unity as much. You humans do, because you are all unique individual consciousnesses. You are all individual beings with different purposes, but none of your purposes or missions could be complete without the other humans, without the humans who are different than you and the ones that are in harmony with you, but especially the ones that are different from you. If you didn't have the lessons, if you didn't have the people who are different from you teaching you things, if you didn't have the trauma or the pain to overcome, you would not understand your missions or your purpose. You wouldn't awaken, because you awaken when things are at their lowest point. You start to see the light, and then you start to blossom. Start to blossom in a very, very beautiful way. Most people's awakenings start at a low point, and that seeking for hope and inspiration and faith and forgiveness, seeking for things to be better. So if you didn't have the things that were different than you, that challenged you, you wouldn't grow, you wouldn't ascend. You all need each other, and you need that unity with each other, of understanding. You're playing your role, you're playing your role, I'm playing my role, I'm playing my role. Understanding. Embracing unity is embracing understanding and embracing acceptance of all things, of all people, no matter who they are or where they come from. Because what makes you so unique as beings is you have this experience in the physical incarnation, and you are working to take care of truth, and you're working to go through ascension. It is this beautiful thing to observe. But you can't force people to go down certain routes. You can't control things. Everyone's choices have to be their own, because if you're almost cheating someone out of their own experience if you try controlling things. If you try dictating to them what's right and wrong. Do you even know what's really right and wrong? Isn't what's right and wrong taught to you by your parents? But everyone's parents taught them different things. There are a few things that are common knowledge that they are right and wrong, but there are the people that believe that the things that are decided by society that are wrong are actually right, and vice versa. So how do you know that what you believe is the right thing? That's why there are so many different ways of practicing beliefs, practicing spirituality and connection, and there are so many different spiritual beings, so many different higher beings that you can connect to that offer different things, because everyone has something unique to bring to the table, and that uniqueness coming together is unity, oneness. But you have to be different. You have to be different, because if you were all the same, then why are you incarnating? See, the thing with higher beings that don't incarnate is we have our differences, but we're all pretty much the same. You talk to one of us, you're pretty much talking to all of us in one way or another. We can tap into that consciousness, and if I have an Elfian healer friend that has a message to say but doesn't want to come through the communicator, I can be like, okay, I will say that for you. And it is that tapping into that, we are one. We are connected to that one source. We don't deviate from it. We don't forget that. We don't have as many individualities and diversities within our individual souls that make us starkly different from the soul next to us, as humans do. Humans do have that in such a unique way, that it's very important to have those differences, because those differences, when you embrace them and embrace that unity with those differences, it is life. That is life, and it is so beautiful. So you as humans, when you're in the non-physical, you can tap into each other's consciousness and connect to each other. But what's different is if your soul is in a different time space than another human soul, you don't have that ability to tap in. But if another higher being soul, like an angel or an Elfian, is in a different time space than another one, we can still tap into each other's shared consciousness. But you humans are individual. And that individuality actually is what helps you find unity, because that unity is a choice. Unity is a choice. And when you choose it, you are choosing all the beautiful things that come with it. And you are being a being of life by exercising your free will. But embracing unity is important for connection to the highest self, because the highest self is in unity with everyone else's highest self. Your highest self is in unity with source, with your source. Therefore, when you are seeking unity with your highest self, you are seeking unity with source, and therefore unity with all. When you really embrace your highest self, you will see that there is unity in humanity. You will see that there is connection, that everyone is interconnected in some way. Even if someone is completely different than you, you can see that unity. You are humans together. And we observe that you guys are fighting each other all the time. When you guys stop fighting and start seeing that even in the person that you think is the most complete opposite from you, there are things you have in common. And it's more than just being human. You might actually have a shared experience, something that brings you together. That unity, embracing that unity, is finding ways to really see every human being, all of your neighbors, as something connected to you, as some loving being that you can have a connection with, even if it's surface level. It's okay. Some relationships have to be surface level, because if you dig deeper, it's going to be not a harmonious connection. But if it's just surface level, it's saying hi and bye and having small conversations, but you are bringing forth that unity. You are coming together as two completely different souls and finding a way to be one in a conversation, to be one in an experience, to experience that unity. And that is a very key principle in stepping into your highest self and stepping into divine light and love, and choosing the path of love and choosing the path of enlightenment is having that unity with everyone, even if they're different from you. You might fall prey to the false reality that if someone is not awakened, that they're not necessary in your life. Oh, I don't want to deal with them. They're not awakened. They're so negative. They're this and that. No. Okay, they're cynical. They're negative all the time. It's not healthy to be around someone like that all the time. It can be draining. But it doesn't mean that they're not meant to be a part of your life. They could be part of your experience in some way. Maybe being around you sometimes can help them start to awaken into their truth. You never know. Yeah, of course, there are people who drain energy and are energy vampires, and you know that, and you can separate yourself. But even in that moment, you guys came together to have an experience. Even if it's not a positive one, it's maybe them treating you poorly or you treating them poorly. You had an experience. Wow, that's a human experience. That is something that you can only have in the physical reality. Even, we don't want to say like disregard your pain, disregard your trauma, disregard your suffering. That's not what we're saying. That's all part of it. But you can see that soul and that human, and maybe it can help you with forgiveness and help you with healing, and knowing that you both were a part of a human experience. You came together in unity, not in harmony, but in unity as one experience. You were both part of one experience that helped you grow. That helps you grow in different ways. Maybe. That's being optimistic. Maybe you didn't help them grow. But for you as an individual soul, and you're seeking your spiritual journey, you are watching this video, that everyone who even caused you pain, you guys came in unity together and you had that experience. And that experience helped you grow and become who you are. It's important to be grateful for it. But the unity that we're really talking about is coming together as humans and accepting everyone, no matter what choices they make, no matter what you believe is right or wrong. It's that acceptance. Embracing unity is embracing acceptance of all and choosing to have love, forgiveness, and compassion for everyone, even if they're completely different than you. Not disregarding potential connections or experiences just because someone seems different than you. Do not judge a book by its cover. Really, do not judge a human by their outward appearance. You do not know. The soul inside could be the soul that you have been searching for your entire life, and embracing that unity offers the potential for you to have a connection that was truly divinely meant for you. She said goodbye and she was gone. Wow. Typically, say final message. She did not give crystals, but I'm hearing the crystals coming through now. Like I hear and then I feel them coming through now. There is a lot of stress on us as human beings when we are constantly worried about, what's, there is so much stress on us. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the stress on our chest. Like I'm feeling it intensely, that like we're so stressed with trying to prove our points. We're so stressed with who's right and who's wrong. And there is a lot of ego in that. And that prevents us from really stepping into our highest self. So I feel like that embracing of unity and acceptance of everyone's differences and not trying to prove a point kind of removes the ego. The ego constantly wants to prove a point. The ego constantly wants to be right. And that's why we end up fighting each other so much, like physically and emotionally. That's why we cause each other so much pain. We're constantly fighting each other to prove points, and that eliminates the highest self when we're doing that. And to eliminate the ego, we must see that unity and that beauty in everything and everything that's different, and not try to force our will upon others. And that is choosing our highest self. So the crystalline energy I'm feeling coming through I'm feeling Merlinite will help with connecting to unity. Malachite. Merlinite and Malachite. Merlinite is also indigo gabbro. So indigo gabbro is another term for Merlinite. Malachite, indigo gabbro. What else is coming through? Topaz. Sometimes it comes as like a jumble of different things. So you have to like weed it out to get the correct one. Emerald. Is there anything else? Solid. No? Subtracting. Lapis. Okay. Sometimes I see the visuals and lapis and solidite look very similar. So we got indigo gabbro, malachite, topaz, emerald, and lapis. Are 5 crystal energies that can help us with embracing unity. So I will see you guys next week's episode talking about divine tranquility, bringing forth that peace energy. After divine tranquility, we have the final 2, which is liberation and divine justice. Are the other 2 warrior principles to embrace. So I will see you next week with tranquility. And see, we're like feeling a lot of things coming through. So next week is tranquility. Truly harmonious connections, they gave kind of like an assignment of understanding truly harmonious connections and embracing harmony, and so did kindness. So universal unity is bringing that forth as well. So one challenge for embracing unity is to go out and find a way to bring more unity into your community, to try and build a community, because we are all in a way kind of isolating more because of the digital age, and just how society is set up, that we see a lot of differences and we aren't embracing the differences. We're just using it as walls, keeping us blocked from each other. And there is a lack of community in some areas, or you might be feeling like you're not involved in your community. And to bring forth that unity and embrace that for your highest self, find ways to build a community or be part of your community, to have those connections and establish those relationships, even if it's with people that you're not going to hang out with on the weekend, but still having those connections, and finding that unity can help you embrace your higher self more. And it's something that's not necessarily like, okay, meditating and crystals to help you connect to your highest self, but it is that connection with, your fellow humans. So that is the challenge that you're challenged to do this week. And yes, I will see you next week, sending you love, light, and inspiration. Wishing you good luck in connecting to unity. Stay inspired.